Hey, it's the Midnight Runner, and today we're doing the Twin Towers mystery case. So this has to do with the 9/11 Twin Towers disaster, but this is about a missing woman. So if you're new, welcome to my channel. I'm the Midnight Raven. I'm looking a little worse for wear. I am currently on holiday from work, and I'm enjoying not having to look perfect all the time. Let's get into the video. So today we're looking at the Twin Towers mystery case. This is a longer video, a longer case, more details, more research, so I hope you enjoy the video. So, like fellow New Yorkers, Sania Phillips was oblivious to the horror that lay in wait for the city in just 24 hours' time. When she woke up on the morning of the 10th of September 2001, this physician wasn't working on that day. She had planned to run errands, and around 11 a.m. she kissed her husband goodbye as he left for a shift in the emergency room at the Jacobi Medical Center. In the afternoon, she spoke to her mum on the line for around 2 hours. She then changed her clothes and left the apartment around 4 p.m. Sounds perfectly normal. So she went to the dry cleaners, followed to a discount store where she bought tights, bed linen, a dress, and some lingerie. Lucky man. The store's CCTV image and payment receipt was the final concrete proof that Sanaya's whereabouts that day. After midnight on September the 11th, Ron returned home and there were no signs of his wife. Her absence was not out of character, so he decided to go to bed because he had another shift that next morning. After a few hours of sleep, he woke up and realized she still had not come back to the house. But he still needed to be up in the morning, so he went back to bed. That morning he woke up and went to work. The first plan was to continue to see if his wife had come home, and she hadn't. So the next day, the first plane flew into the northwest tower at around 8:45 a.m. Then 17 minutes later, the south tower was struck by a plane as well. Concerned by the tower hits and their apartment being close, Ron made numerous calls to her phone, to her apartment, and they only got the answer machine. He made his way to Lower Manhattan, but it was chaos unfolding. The Twin Towers had both been hit, and it would take around 6 hours to make his journey back to their apartment. On arrival to the apartment, he discovered that the power cut had cut out the electrics, hence no one answering the phone. The operated doors to the entrance to the building had locked, so he couldn't get in. He shouted up to the building, tried to get somebody to answer. He was told there was no reply. He would spend the night at a friend's house. He finally was able to enter his building late on the 12th of September. A carpet of grey dust was everywhere in his house. The Twin Tower debris had swept down the alleyway, swept across miles and miles of the city, and the open window had obviously led multiple amounts of dust getting in the house. The only prints in the house, though, were footprints left by their kitten. His wife had still not been back to the apartment, it would seem, and she had not been seen since going to the discount store. Her husband Ron would then report her missing, but with a lot going on, the detectives had a lot to go on. With the Twin Towers being hit, their manpower was very, very small at that time. They were dedicated to the Twin Towers. So detectives would go around to neighbours, bars, hotels, and would try and find this woman. But with the amount going on, at this point in time, there wasn't much they could do. He reported her missing. He put a poster around, tried to find any information about his wife, but they were sadly swamped by hundreds of people that were missing from the Twin Towers. Other families needed help too, and unfortunately his case wasn't their priority right then. Ron tried to get the media interested in his case of his missing wife, but when the reporters realized she hadn't been a confirmed 9/11 missing person, they turned their attentions elsewhere. Sanaya's brother John would tell a New York TV station that he'd been on the phone to his sister in the immediate aftermath of the attacks. and that she was at the World Trade Center trying to help casualties. It was a lie, but the station ran a photo of her. On September the 11th morning, a video showing a woman resembling Sanaya came through the front door just 3 minutes before the plane hit the North Tower. The woman waited for the elevator, but then left the building abruptly. The dress she was wearing was similar. Ron was unable to distinctively identify the woman in the picture as his wife. When the police finally decided to investigate her disappearance, they made a series of discoveries, including the image of a successful, happily married woman. The first thing was earlier in that year, Sanaya had not had her contract renewed at the medical center. She was left, and due to alcohol, her contract hadn't renewed. She was also bad at timekeeping and was late to shift repeatedly, probably due to drinking. During a night out, she'd made an official complaint about being groped by a male co-worker. The police investigated and the case was dropped. She was charged with falsely reporting an incident, and the morning she went shopping, she was meant to have been in court pleading not guilty to filing a false report that her co-worker had groped or assaulted her. So supposedly Ron had gone with his wife to court hearing before leaving for work. According to police reports, the couple argued outside the court after she had stormed out. It is a version of events Ron refutes outright. The police would dig deeper into Sanaya's private life, and a pattern emerged of her regularly visiting a gay and lesbian bar, often staying out all night. So police analysed Ron's phone. Records reveal he had received a call on his phone at around 4 a.m. on 11 September. The call had been made from the apartment landline. Ron said he did not remember making the call, but could have woken up and tried to check his messages on his phone. Today, the remains of more than 1,100 of the 2,753 victims of the Twin Towers has still not been identified, or a person of interest been identified. So there remains a lot of people who had gone missing on that day, including, at this time, Sanaya. In the case of Sanaya, there is no concrete evidence she was ever there. There is no forensic traces of her. Sanaya's family and husband have always maintained she died trying to help people in the attacks. Ron filed a court petition to have his wife officially declared a 9/11 victim. In early 2004, a medical examiner office would remove her name from the list 3 years after she went missing. A judge referred to police report that conceded that Sanaya could have intentionally disappeared or been murdered, not been a victim of the Twin Towers. The family refused to accept the verdict and once again appealed. In 2008, a panel ruled in their favor, and Sanaya was officially declared a victim of the 2,751 victims of 9/11. So had Sanaya really died during 9/11? Was she really helping casualties? Did she fake her own death to escape her marriage for some reason? We may never know what really happened to her. She has never been found. There has been no trace of her. She literally did just disappear. She still remains a missing person, if you want to call it, although she would like to be classed as a hero for being a helpful person during the Twin Towers attacks, like her family would like. There is no evidence to suggest this. And trying to lie that she was a victim of 9/11 to get her case bumped up is a bit low when it comes to family, because a lot of families had lost their friends, their loved ones, and to try and lie to get your case pushed up in the TV and the media, it just falls a little bit to the wayside of proper etiquette when it comes to, the situation that was happening. A lot of people had lost their friends and family. Everybody was going through the same turmoil. Was she a tragic casualty of 9/11? We may never know. It's a sad case of a woman that went missing. Her husband wanted answers, so did the family, and unfortunately they never got the answers they wanted. Is it happier to know that she died in the 9/11 Twin Towers attack, or would it be even better to know that she was still alive and still out there? Maybe the conclusion to this would be that she's missing and that she just lay her memory to rest, whether she left of her own accord or whether she died. But this is the Twin Towers mystery case. What do you think of it? Do you believe she died in the towers? Do you think she just ran away? There's no evidence to suggest either one, but this case remains unsolved, if you want to call it. But if you want to see longer cases like this again, let me know. This is another long case. I do have shorter ones and longer ones. Some cases are longer than others. It just depends how much research and how much I can find on each story. So if you want to like, subscribe, and give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you very soon for another case. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye guys.